Hi, everyone. I'm Emily Crow, multimedia editor at Progressive Grocer. Welcome to Top Women in Grocery, a podcast focused on the topics, trends, and interests moving women forward in grocery retail. We're spotlighting extraordinary women in the grocery industry with successful careers and interesting lives, and who are also making a positive impact in their workplaces and in their communities. I'm here today with Lizette Gomez, Director of Marketing at Santa Clarita, California-based Vallarta Supermarkets. With deep expertise in strategic planning, PR, and creative direction, Lizette has shaped memorable brand identities, led high-profile launches, and seamlessly integrated marketing into broader business operations. As the force behind Vallarta's corporate and social responsibility efforts, she brings together storytelling, strategy, and collaboration to connect brands with their audiences in powerful ways. Lizette, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, to start, tell me a bit about your career journey and how you landed in your current role at Vallarta.
Wow, that's a long one. Well, to start off, I did start off, 19 years old as a receptionist. So I'm a person that can probably tell you that I've started from the grassroots. So my first company was in property management. It had nothing to do with grocery. I was there for 8 years. I did a lot of marketing there. That's where I learned a lot of marketing and property management, specialty leasing, short-term leasing. So I understood more of like on the property side and marketing side. Um, so I started there. I learned a lot. That's when I really got into the marketing piece where I learned about like signage, sellable space in a shopping center. And I worked with a lot of retailers back then. So like it would be like, big brand retailers that you would see like at a mall. So I started there. And then one day I was, minding my own business and I get a call from a recruiter from Fresh and Easy and they had a marketing coordinator role. Mind you, I've never been in grocery before, didn't know anything about it. I took the job for, I think it was $2 more than I was currently making. It was far. It was located in El Segundo. I lived in Norwalk back then, so that was a drive with traffic on the 105. And I took a chance. I learned a lot. I started working on the ad circular, so all the advertising piece. I got a lot. I worked a lot with photographers, food stylists. Learned a lot about in-store signage. Posters in the store, hanging signs, aisle blades. Danglers, shelf tags, all that sizing and all the creative piece that went into it. And it started like opening up my mind a little bit more about how I saw things. I've always been creative. I went to school for like graphic design and business. So I've always liked the creative piece of being able to like change things. If I didn't like something, I'd like to change. And from there, from Fresh and Easy, they're no longer around, but then I went to Super King Markets. Super King Markets, I started off as well as a marketing coordinator, got promoted to a marketing manager, and I got a lot of experience there. I learned how to do like websites, digital, like I know how to code HTML coding. I did social, I did digital ads, worked on the website. I worked on the ad again. The ads always followed me. So the ad circular, with all the prices that you get at your house, it's followed me all jobs that I've had, by the way. It is the most stressful job in the world, just because it's on a weekly basis and you have to work with like, let's say over 200 products on the ad, prices, description, image, all that has to be correct. Make sure there's no typos. It needs to print on time. So it's a lot. Yeah. So I started working on that there, amongst other things, right? I started getting into like events, in-store events, working with charities. There I worked with like Olive Crest, which I still work now. And then, I just get a phone call one day about, would you like to, be a marketing director at Vallarta? And obviously, I went from 8 store to like more stores at the time. Over 40. So, it was a big challenge, but I love challenges. I take them head on and I learn along the way. So when I got here, I got into the PR side, I got into the charitable giving, which I love doing, by the way. I love like giving back to the community. I like to help in any way, shape I can. It's positive, as a grocery store that we're in the community. Like we're here for the community at the end of the day. And it makes me feel good. I genuinely like enjoy speaking to people at events or when somebody calls me for like a donation. And I don't know, I just like listening to people and like hearing them out. So yeah, so I do, a lot of the PR events, seasonal products. We're getting into a lot of seasonal products. When I first started here, marketing is fairly new for this company. I mean, they've always had a marketing person, but like it's expanded so much and like the company's growing, so it's great, right? So that's kind of how I got into the role. Like, just one step after another. I just started learning in one place, and just, it always takes me to that next level. Just got to learn. Learn is key, and change. You got to change too. So,
yeah. So the grocery industry, speaking of change, has seen quite a bit of change and transformation in the past few years. What trends or changes have stood out to you, and what areas are you currently focused on to help enhance the customer experience?
What I've seen change in the industry recently is a lot. Back when I first started, there wasn't a lot of like organic, non-GMO, like vegan options. From what I remember you would have to go to like a specialty store, like a little smaller store. Like if you wanted to get like organic almonds or like organic, like anything organic, there was always a smaller selection of it. And I'm not just picking on the organic piece,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
I'm also picking on like the options and the assortments. So what I've seen now, like what Vallarta has different than other places don't, is like that variety, right? So like we have hot foods, we have like aguas frescas, we have tamales, we sell tacos, like pre-made tacos. We're getting into experimenting with like marinades on the meat. Like usually at your grocery store, you only have one type of marinade for your meat, and that's all you're gonna have. You're either gonna have marinated or non-marinated. And now we have like different options. We have like a Peruvian blend, a Korean blend, and I can't recall the other blend. Sorry, but there's options now compared to like I don't know 10 years ago. But that's how fast like the world is changing. So just the trends on like assortments and offerings inside the store has definitely changed, and the shopper experience too, right? I always felt like in grocery stores when I went there, people hide from you, like employees hide, they don't want to talk to you. And here at Vallarta, like they kind of get in front of you, like, hey, do you need anything? Like I've gone to stores, our stores, and I go and I'm walking around and I always look lost because I'm always thinking about something. So like somebody will walk up to me like, oh, do you need something? I'm like, no, I'm okay. Thank you. But thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Like, I got to change the face a little. Maybe I look lost or something. But that's something I see that's different from like other retailers, right? Like, I mean, besides, a few smaller ones, but based on the stores that I shop at, which is Vallarta.
Yeah.
And then, like, in terms of your other question of like what we're doing to like enhance the customer experience, basically, like, we're working with influencers, we're trying to get the name and the brand out. They've been, very helpful in helping us achieve that, just always like, we're always trying new things, right? Whether it's like sustainability, trying to save, whether it's like charitable giving. I mean, there's a lot, like not everything we do today could be done tomorrow because we want to get better, like as a company.
I love that. Well, you mentioned community engagement a little bit before, but it's obviously a big part of many grocery retailers' identities. So, from your perspective, what does building those strong community connections look like in an industry like food retail?
Well, that's a huge answer. Community engagement goes in different ways, right? So we do community donations amongst all of our stores. Um, and, every zone or city has like a different need than the other one. So everybody has like a separate goal. So it's different. Now we have field marketing, and I'm going to jump a little back and forth. Now we have like field marketing manager that's out in the field. So like his job is to really zone in on the community, right? So I get like donations, and I work with, organizations to raise funds for charities. And I give, I help, yeah, your local church, your local school, if it's like, a sporting, like if it's a baseball team that's looking for like a sponsorship for like their banner, let's say it's $100. Like that's kind of where I come in. And then in the field marketing, they're like out there, with the 10 by 10 tents, sampling our product to the community. Like, let's say they'll bring like an agua fresca in a sample size and they like sample it to people that are there. So that's kind of like, like somebody out at an event, right? They're there, they sample this product. They're like, oh my God, I love this. Where do they sell this? I want more. Like, that's kind of like our goal is to be out there in the community. And even though like it's so bare minimal that we've sampled a small item, it resonates. And, somebody like, hey, I got this item. I liked it. Like, I want to go back and get it. Like, where do you sell it? So, and it's not like all about sales. It's like, honestly, like the company genuinely likes, community stuff, like, which is why they invest so much. Like they're very humble people. I truly have like a big respect for them all. And even like my coworkers too, like so involved and they all care. So stuff like when we just give a little bit back, like it makes us like, it does something to the heart, I guess I should say.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it does something to the customer too. Like we're not just in here like, hey, we're going to take your money. No, we're here like for you. Like we're here for you.
Yeah, it's so important today. So we've also seen growing interest in customizable offerings and limited time products across retail. What are your thoughts on why these resonate with today's customers? I've seen them everywhere, so I'm really interested to hear.
So we have extremely talented culinary people that work with us. They're so creative. They basically go off trends, right? We're gonna have, I can tell you, we're gonna have an ube line.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's different, right?
Yeah.
Like I would have never, as creative as I can be, I never would have thought about that. I was like,
Sure.
ube on what? Like, I was like, with flan or a cheesecake, like, or a muffin. Like I said, they've been in the industry, like, they're culinary, they're chefs, they're food, they that's what they're good at. I'm good at the marketing side,
Sure.
but like they come up with all these things and it makes sense. And we've seen a positive and we like doing them. Obviously, like I said before, like we never did that before, but now like since I've been here, like, we all push it. Like I push it too. I was like, hey, what are we doing? We're also having a pumpkin spice line because, it's pumpkin spice everything in like September. So that's upcoming too. And that one's fun because there's like a pumpkin spice tamal. I've never tried one till I tried one here. So it's just like that creativity, right? The trends that are going on in the world. Maybe we're not like right all the time, but like we know we're heading in that right direction on, seasonal offerings for our customers because we want our customers to try something different. Like if you were eating the same thing over and over again, like, yeah, some people may like that, but after a while, you're going to get tired of it. So that's where like the change comes where we want to do something different. And we're always doing that everywhere. The marinades are, new items. It's not seasonal, but it's something that we want to do. Like our tortillas, right now in the stores, we have hatch chili tortilla chips. And it's like the flavoring has like a little hatch chili taste. Mm-hmm. I can't even describe it, but they're so good. Like I'm just like addicted to those.
So reaching customers both in store, like you're doing with, these limited time offerings, all that kind of stuff, and also online is more important than ever today. How do you think the integration of digital and physical experiences is shaping retail today?
I think it's a positive. Mm-hmm. I am a big Instacart user. I love that I'm able to, because I work long hours, and I'll use me as an example. I'm a working, individual. You got your like 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 job. Like the online piece is super important because like somebody that gets mentally exhausted does not want to go shop like anywhere, but we all need to eat. So like the online portion is just giving that opportunity for, the working class, or somebody that has a disability that can't get to the store so easily, or somebody that, a mother that has like a child, like maybe they don't have a car seat. And I'm just coming up with scenarios right now.
Yeah.
So the online piece is super important for us. We are partnered with like Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats. Right now, we are working on our own private, e-commerce platform at the moment, because we are investing in, the trends and what our customers want, right? Like, we're listening. So like, we do see like a positive use in the online. I mean, everybody orders online now. I mean, not everybody, but most of us do, just because I don't want to go to the store.
Right.
Like, I'm lazy, so I don't want to leave my house. But even like the in-store piece. So like I said, I work on the ad circular, that I work on every week. So that hits people's homes, right? So like, whatever it does to the customer, maybe they don't look at the ad, maybe they do, but at least they see Vallarta there and they're just like, hey, I was like, this flat meat, it's $6.99, and I'm just going to come up with that right now. It's like, I want to go buy some, and I'm going to get up and go. So like, there's, reaching our customers right now, like, you only have like a few seconds. And when I say a few seconds to grab somebody's attention, it's probably like 1 second,
Right.
Because there's so many things thrown at us. Like, it could be on, social media. So we are hitting all the pieces right now. We're doing like the online, with e-commerce, we're doing social media, we're doing our website, we have our in-store ad, and then we have our events, on the ground. We can have an event in like, let's say Whittier, or like random spot. So, we are invested, 100% invested.
Yeah. Well, finally, I love talking about mentorship. I'm curious how it's influenced your career path and in what ways you support others, especially women looking to grow in the field.
Mentorship is super important. We all need somebody at any point of our lives to help us some way or somehow. We all have a question, or even if I'm always intrigued about hearing an experience of, somebody that I reported to, because I have a career. I reported to a lot of people, and I had nothing but great things to say about them, because I feel like I've learned a lot from them. Even how to be detailed. I remember I had a boss, her name was Debbie. She told me to be so detailed to the point where if I was going to have a presentation, to make sure the paper clips that I was giving were a nice, pretty color. Like, so even though it's just a paper clip, but like a nice pink paper clip, that's a detail that not everyone can see. But little stuff like that is like, that still resonates me till this day.
That sticks with you.
Yeah, it's just like the little details always important, or even like thinking bigger picture, right? Like, they always taught me like not to just think about myself, think about my audience, think about like what other people would want, not just what I would like. Obviously I'm a marketer, like I have to like listen to my consumers, and I have to also give like my input, like, okay, let's do this. So like, when it comes to like when I'm working on projects, like whatever scale size projects, I always give my 2 cents. But I have been mentored a lot. I've had a really, really good background of mentorship. I'm very grateful. I always tell people, like, I've had good bosses. And I've had bad bosses, but I've had really good bosses that have really like, cared about like my growth and wanting me, and they're proud of me. Like, I get messages from them still like, hey, you're doing great. And I was like, thanks. Doesn't feel like it sometimes, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. It's always good to hear.
Yeah. And I have mentored people before. The last 2 companies I've left I've promoted a woman into my role. So I have, and I've always pushed for it, because, when you leave a company, they ask like, hey, who do you think? And like, I've always like said, so-and-so, she does great. Let's do that. And not only because they're a woman, it's because I know they can do the job. Like, I know it, like, I know they would be great at it. I know that they would have no problem at all. So I do mentor even here. Like, I'll give, advice to like, my fellow coworkers, like, hey, like when they ask me, hey, what do you think I should do? And I'm like, here, I think you should do this, but it's up to you ultimately.
Right.
Like, I never tell people like, hey, do this. I'm like, no, it's up to you. Yeah. We're all free here.
Right. Wonderful. Well, Lizette, thank you so much for sharing your insights and for being here with us today.
Thank you.
For more information about the Top Women in Grocery podcast, please visit www.progressivegrocer.com/podcasts. You can also subscribe to this series wherever you typically listen to podcasts, including on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Finally, if you have an idea for a Twig podcast topic, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at ecrow@ensembleiq.com. See you next time, and thanks so much for listening.